Hello, I'm probably riding my bike. It's pretty cold. Even the Han River is freezing over. But somehow I still couldn't wait to get out on my bike today. Some people ask me how I find the motivation to ride, especially in this freezing cold winter. I didn't always have this enthusiasm and motivation for riding as much as I do now. I was definitely a more fair weather cyclist. Nothing wrong with that. But over the last 10 years or so, I've tricked myself into thinking riding bikes is the only possible way to get around. Most of the time I don't even think about a different way. I'm lucky here that I live fairly close to the river, and getting around by bike is usually quicker than public transport, and definitely more fun. The only times I really find it a bit harder to get out on the bike is when it's really slushy and wet and miserable. But a cold, crisp, sunny day like this, I can't wait to get out. Especially if you're wearing the right clothes, like I talked about in my last video. You're only really cold for the first couple of minutes, and then after riding, you just warm up a bit. And if you're wearing good layers, you can take them off before you get too sweaty. On cold mornings like this, the city is very quiet too. Another reason to get yourself out. Enjoy the peace and solitude in a city of millions of people. During the week, my motivation to ride is just getting to work. The public transport here is excellent, and I could take the bus or train. But in the morning, I need me time. I'm not feeling very sociable when I first wake up. So it's headphones in, listen to a podcast and some music, and quietly ride to work by myself. And on the weekends, my riding motivation, if you know me and you've watched my videos, is going to eat some delicious food and having some great coffee. A very simple but effective motivation to get out on my bike. I'm lucky to have friends to facilitate that motivation too. And a freezing cold day like this calls for some hot noods. Japanese ramen noodles, to be more specific. This is Soba Menyajoon near Hongdae, Hongik University. This is my first time trying this place, and I've only heard good things. A clean and modern feeling with super friendly service, and a delicious bowl of salt-based ramen noodles with wontons. My friends got the soy sauce broth. The meat and the broth had a really nice smoky flavour. And of course, you got to get the extra noods and a trail of clean bowls. We had to wait a little outside before going in, so the hot noodles really warmed me up. And it was a nice touch when they gave us some glasses of warm water to warm up as well. I'll be going back to that place for sure. I think they actually might be the best Japanese ramen noodles I've had in Korea. Motivation number 1 ticked off the list. We've had our hot noods. Now it's time for some hot coffee. An overwhelming choice of cafes on this side of Seoul. We probably passed about 10 that have great coffee on the way to the coffee now. But when I'm on the west side of the city, there's always one cafe that's calling for me. The one that comes to mind first before any other. You know it. It's Dark Edition coffee. One of my top 2 cafes in Seoul. Maybe Joint first. I love the amazing choice of different roasts and beans they have. I love how friendly they are. And the space is just really nice and cozy. I took my mother-in-law here once, and it was the first time she tried specialty coffee. She couldn't believe the price, but then when she tried it, she really liked it, and she took her friends here a few times too, which is cool. A nice light roast Ethiopian flat white. A good winter warmer. On the way over, I was thinking I might get the train home. It's a bit cold today, and I'm feeling a little lazy. But now I've been out on the bike for the day, I'm excited to ride all the way home. I've got the wind behind me this time too, which definitely helps. I think for people who don't ride as much as me, the hardest thing is getting out on the bike in the first place. But once you're out, there's nothing better. And you might be surprised how long you ride for in the end. I think in the end, I'm always glad I rode my bike. I can't think of any bike rides that I've regretted. Maybe sometimes when you're hauling yourself up a steep hill, you might be regretting it at that moment. But once you get home, I think you will look back on that ride more fondly. I usually just want to go for a ride, so I'm finding excuses. Things like a toilet tour in Tokyo, or small goals like getting coffee or ramen, or maybe just having a handlebar swap and wanting to try them out. I ride a lot by myself, but I think riding with others can be more motivation too. It's always good to reach out to a friend, ask if they want to meet up for a bowl of noodles or a coffee, and a little bike ride. Hopefully it makes their day better too. Riding in winter definitely helps me appreciate the other seasons more as well. I was looking back at some of my videos from the summer, and Seoul looks so lush and green and lovely. I'm excited for those days ahead. But for now, I'll still appreciate what I have and where I am. Maybe in the summer when it's 35 degrees and 99% humidity outside, I'll miss this frozen river. At least when you ride in the winter, you can just put more and more layers on to get warmer. In the summer, there's only a certain number of layers you can take off before you get arrested. I hope my videos also motivate you to ride. I've said it before, my favourite comments are the ones when people say, I went for a bike ride because of you. That's one of the main reasons I make these videos, and the main motivation for me to get out on my bike and ride and film. I love seeing other people's bike rides online all around the world. A little jealous of summer in New Zealand and Australia. And sending some positive energy to those somewhere maybe it's too cold and too snowy to get out on your bike. Hopefully you can live vicariously through my videos and pretend you're riding through the streets of Seoul. I'm always trying to find different routes home, motivating myself to find hidden parts of Seoul that other people maybe haven't seen and don't know about so much. That's another motivation, is just finding something new, even on your doorstep, that you haven't seen before. Even in my hometown that I lived in for 20 years, if I go for a bike ride when I visit home, I still see new things and notice things I haven't seen before. Maybe if you walk down these back streets every day, you'd think, what's the charm in these? Why is probably riding even interested in this? But for me, finding a new alleyway to ride down is motivation enough to get outside on my bike. I hope this video motivates you to get out on your bike. And I hope you've enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. See you later.